Shirakawa Runa is undoubtedly the most radiant girl in her grade, capturing attention with her grace and charm. On the other hand, our other main character, Kashima Ryudo, struggles with his self-worth. He often refers to himself as someone who's not quite up to par, reminiscent of characters from classic tales of underdogs. At the tender age of 16, he's yet to experience the joys of a romantic relationship, which has led to a somewhat limited social circle. The world where the elegant Shirakawa thrives seems miles apart from Kashima's. Her beauty is so mesmerizing that Kashima feels a warmth, almost as if he's standing too close to a flame. Whenever he's near her, this overwhelming sensation causes him to downplay his own worth, keeping his true feelings locked away. Unexpectedly, we find him in a situation where he's getting closer to her, and she seems interested in deepening their bond. This unexpected twist leaves Kashima flustered, trying to comprehend the unfolding events. Hello, dear viewers, I'm Anikazu, and today we're diving into the intriguing world of the anime art dating story. If you've been enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting content. Let's continue our journey. The school year kicks off, and Kashima finds himself incredibly fortunate to share a classroom with Shirakawa. As we observe the classroom dynamics, the ever-glowing Shirakawa stands out, surrounded by her group of equally delightful friends. While navigating the intricate social dynamics of high school, Kashima overhears a group of boys discussing Shirakawa Runa's reputation. The whispers suggest that she's known to frequently change her romantic partners, with a new boyfriend every 2 to 3 months. This has led to a common misconception among the male students that they might have a shot at winning her heart, or at the very least, getting close to her. Kashima, ever the introspective one, has come to terms with the perceived chasm between them, believing that someone like him could never bridge the gap to someone as radiant as Shirakawa. However, fate has a way of surprising us. Out of the blue, amidst the hustle and bustle of school life, the elegant Shirakawa approaches Kashima. She has a simple request: to borrow a pencil. Caught off guard and slightly flustered, he hesitates for a moment, but eventually hands her one. As she walks away, he finds himself captivated, unable to divert his gaze from her. It's in this unexpected interaction that Kashima realizes the depth of his feelings for Shirakawa Runa, the belle of the grade. Beyond her beauty, he senses a genuine kindness in her, a warmth that extends to those around her. Later, Kashima and his close-knit group of friends find solace on the school's rooftop, a place away from prying eyes. They engage in a lively discussion about their favorite streamer, pondering if their academic performance might be taking a hit due to their streaming indulgences. In the spirit of friendly competition, they decide on a wager. The ones who perform the poorest in the upcoming exams will be at the mercy of the top scorers, obliged to carry out any task set by them. To the surprise of no one, Kashima, with his diligent nature, secures the top scores in the exams. His friends, seizing the opportunity presented by their earlier wager, challenge him to confess his feelings to the girl he's been secretly pining for. Taking a deep breath and gathering his courage, Kashima pens a heartfelt letter to Shirakawa, pouring out his emotions onto paper. They agree to meet in the school courtyard, a place filled with memories for many students. With the sun casting long shadows and the gentle rustling of leaves in the background, Kashima, after much hesitation and with a shaky voice, finally admits his feelings to her. He had braced himself for rejection, but to his astonishment, after he confesses his admiration for her endearing nature, Shirakawa reciprocates his feelings. Just like that, two souls, seemingly from different worlds, become a couple. As they walk home together after school, the atmosphere is a mix of awkwardness and excitement. They're embarking on a new journey, and there's so much they don't know about each other. For instance, Shirakawa, in a slightly embarrassed tone, admits she doesn't even know Kashima's full name. Their conversations, up to this point, have been fleeting and superficial. Kashima, ever the overthinker, worries he might say something to upset her, potentially ending their budding relationship. However, Shirakawa reassures him of her loyalty, emphasizing that she's not the type to be swayed easily by others. She also playfully mentions that Kashima's sincere confession played a part in winning her over. As they delve deeper into their likes and dislikes, Shirakawa shares her preferences and deal breakers when it comes to relationships. While their connection might seem surface level at first, she believes that with time and understanding, it could blossom into something profound. Kashima soon realizes that Shirakawa's past relationships weren't just based on her looks. She's always been open to love, seeking genuine connections. However, she admits that she's yet to find a relationship that truly resonated with her heart. She clarifies that it's usually the guys who end things, not her, highlighting her unwavering commitment in relationships. Drawing closer to the familiar streets of Shirakawa's neighborhood, the ambient sounds of children playing and distant chatter fill the air. Sensing Kashima's comfort and the ease with which they've been conversing, Shirakawa tentatively asks if he'd be willing to walk her all the way to her doorstep. With a nod and a reassuring smile, Kashima agrees, appreciating the gesture of trust she's extending. As they reach the facade of her home, its warm lights and welcoming aura provide a stark contrast to the growing dusk outside. Shirakawa, with a hint of playfulness in her voice, extends an invitation for him to step inside, casually mentioning the absence of her parents. This revelation sends Kashima's heart into overdrive. The thought of being in a girl's room, especially someone he's grown so fond of, is both exhilarating and nerve-wracking. The walls of his comfort zone seem to close in on him, and a myriad of thoughts race through his mind. However, recognizing the significance of this moment and the trust Shirakawa is placing in him, he takes a deep breath, steadying himself. He's resolved to tread carefully, ensuring that every step they take in this new phase of their relationship is built on mutual respect and understanding. While exploring Shirakawa's room, Kashima stumbles upon a drawer that appears to contain some delicate garments. His curiosity piqued. He's about to take a closer look when Shirakawa suddenly enters the room, catching him in the act. To his relief, she reveals that the item is merely a new piece of clothing she's planning to wear in the future. Shirakawa, sensing Kashima's unease, gestures towards her bed, its soft cushions and plush blankets inviting him to relax. "You can sit here," she says with a gentle smile, hoping to create a comfortable atmosphere for him. Kashima, however, feels the gravity of the moment. The simple act of sitting beside her on the bed feels like a monumental step, given the whirlwind of emotions he's been experiencing. He stands there, momentarily frozen, as he processes the situation. His hesitation doesn't go unnoticed. Shirakawa, trying to lighten the mood, teases, "What's the matter? Thinking of taking things to the next level already?" She chuckles, but her playful tone carries an underlying question. Wanting to dispel any awkwardness, she suggests they both freshen up a bit. "I had a pretty intense workout earlier," she admits, a hint of embarrassment in her voice, "and I could use a quick shower." As she moves to retrieve a change of clothes, Kashima's protective instincts kick in. He's keen on ensuring that their relationship progresses at a pace they're both comfortable with. "Wait," he says softly, reaching out to stop her. His voice is filled with genuine concern, not wanting her to feel any pressure or obligation. They lock eyes, and in that silent exchange, a deeper understanding begins to form between them. Shirakawa is taken aback, assuming that such physical intimacy is a natural progression in relationships. Kashima, wanting to ensure their relationship is built on mutual respect and understanding, expresses his desire to take things slow, especially since they're still getting to know each other. He emphasizes that he values their emotional connection more than anything else. This revelation prompts Shirakawa to reflect on her past relationships, realizing that perhaps she's been seeking physical intimacy without truly understanding her own desires. Kashima's genuine concern and respect make her see him in a new light, different from the other guys she's known. Choosing to momentarily set aside the weight of their emotions and the complexities of their budding relationship, the two decide to immerse themselves in the simple pleasure of each other's company. They embark on a serene walk, allowing the gentle rhythm of their steps and the ambient sounds around them to create a calming backdrop to their conversation. As they meander through the streets, Kashima, with a hint of vulnerability in his voice, confesses that he's navigating the uncharted waters of romance for the first time. He expresses his wish for their first kiss to be a shared moment, one that stems from mutual desire and understanding. He wants Shirakawa to know that he deeply cherishes the bond they're forming and that he's committed to nurturing it with care and respect. Shirakawa, touched by Kashima's sincerity and the thoughtfulness of his approach, finds herself drawn even closer to him. She appreciates his desire to build a relationship based on mutual respect and genuine affection. Feeling a connection that goes beyond mere attraction, she nods in agreement, sensing that their journey together might indeed blossom into a love that's profound and enduring. Wow, what an emotional roller coaster that was. Ryudo is on his way to school and still can't believe that he's in a relationship with the prettiest girl in his grade, Shirakawa. He wonders why a loser like him has such a girlfriend now. On his way to school, he receives a message from Shirakawa saying she overslept. Ryudo is immediately overwhelmed by the situation. He doesn't know what to write to his beautiful girlfriend without it coming off as awkward. He decides to advise her on the best way to get to school so she won't be late. In response, Shirakawa sweetly calls him a caretaker because he's so sweetly concerned about her. However, he apologizes as he couldn't think of a cooler message to send in the middle of class. Shirakawa enters and greets the class. As she makes her way to her seat, everyone looks at her, astonished by her beauty. She sits down and tells her friend that she took so long because she spent a lot of time on her makeup. In the process, she greets her boyfriend Ryudo, and he is once again overwhelmed, starting to blush. On the school roof, Ryudo tells his friends that he was at Shirakawa's house, and they are immediately shocked, wondering if he lost his virginity there. However, he quickly sets the record straight, saying that nothing happened, but she was actually in the mood for it. When he mentions that he declined because he wasn't prepared, His friends give him a lecture, unable to understand his perspective. Ryudo, however, hopes for another opportunity since they are now in a relationship. His friends tell him he's deluding himself, believing they are in a relationship because, in their eyes, it's impossible. To them, Shirakawa is at the top of the food chain and wouldn't settle for someone like Ryudo, and if she did, it would only be for fun to mock him. This causes Ryudo to have doubts about the relationship. Back in the classroom, Shirakawa spots her new boyfriend and hurries straight to him. She excitedly shares that he appeared in her dream, where they were chatting in her room. However, as she speaks, Ryudo becomes visibly nervous and distracted. Some boys in the background whisper and chuckle, clearly amused by his reaction to Shirakawa's approach. He also notices a disapproving look from one of her friends. Trying to find an escape, Ryudo mentions he has some homework to attend to, leaving Shirakawa slightly confused. Afterward, Shirakawa frequently approached him, engaging him in conversations and wanting to spend time together. While Ryudo appreciated this attention, he couldn't help but feel self-conscious due to the reactions of some classmates. Particularly, he was wary of Shirakawa's friend, whom he felt was always watching them closely. Ryudo calls Shirakawa, wanting to speak privately, and asks her with uncertainty if she's told anyone that they're now a couple. She reveals that she informed her friend, Nikaru Yamana, the same girl who had been giving Ryudo cold stares. Shirakawa has been friends with Nikaru since the first grade, so she shares everything with her. Shirakawa then asks Ryudo if he hasn't told his friends, to which he responds that he's told 2 of them. Noticing that their conversations always draw attention in school, Ryudo suggests keeping their relationship a secret while on campus. Shirakawa agrees but wonders when they'd be able to chat. Ryudo suggests weekends and after school hours. He's taken aback by his own audacity, feeling he, being the underdog, shouldn't make such demands. However, Shirakawa sees his suggestion as an invitation for a date. Just as Ryudo is about to retract his words, Shirakawa agrees to a date on Saturday since she's busy on Sunday. Once again, her beauty and charming demeanor leave Ryudo stunned. The day before his date with Shirakawa, Ryudo is anxious about planning their outing and fears it might turn out badly. Just then, he receives a video call from Shirakawa. They greet each other, and once again, Ryudo is taken aback by how adorable she is. She wants to discuss and plan their date together, leading Ryudo to suggest a movie for their first date. However, he's unsure about which movie to watch since he rarely goes to the cinema. Shirakawa then asks Ryudo about his true intentions for the date and why he invited her. He admits that he genuinely wants to get to know her better and therefore wants her to decide what they should do. It's the first time someone has ever asked Shirakawa what she'd like to do, leaving her pleasantly surprised by Ryudo. She begins to smile and mentions how much she's looking forward to their time together the next day, which feels like a whirlwind of emotions for Ryudo. Overwhelmed, Ryudo starts to overthink and wonders if she might have more mature plans for their date, causing him to panic. On the day of their date, the couple goes shopping, and Ryudo is captivated by Shirakawa's appearance as he sees her in casual clothes for the first time. Her beauty stands out remarkably, drawing attention from everyone around. Next to her, Ryudo feels invisible. They visit various stores and continue their shopping spree. After their shopping session, they sit down and grab drinks for a break. Shirakawa asks Ryudo if he genuinely didn't mind shopping and whether he got bored, to which he denies. She's skeptical at first, but he explains that he truly enjoyed understanding her fashion sense and loved seeing her happy, which in turn made him happy. This heartfelt comment makes Shirakawa blush, and her reaction, in turn, makes Ryudo turn red as well. As their date progresses, a bond gradually forms between the two. Shirakawa receives a call from her friend Nikaru and mentions that she's on a date with Ryudo, reassuring her not to worry. Ryudo immediately fears the worst, assuming Nikaru might advise Shirakawa to end things with him. He once again becomes introspective about their relationship, feeling that their connection is unattainable. His insecurity deepens, especially when he sends her a message and she doesn't reply. Ryudo becomes increasingly overwhelmed when Shirakawa doesn't respond to him for 4 hours. He's aware she had plans on Sunday, but she usually always has her phone handy and replies promptly. He can't help but think she's possibly meeting another guy and might be tired of playing around with him. As these thoughts spiral, Ryudo feels increasingly distressed. To distract himself, he decides to watch his favorite streamer. Immersed in fanboy mode, he becomes engrossed in the stream, staying up for most of the night. The next day at school, Ryudo is greeted and celebrated by his friends for becoming a true fan. However, just moments later, he sees other boys trying to woo Shirakawa, inviting her to football practice. Ryudo witnesses the scene, looking as if he had expected nothing less, but his friends try to console him. In the evening, after school, he arrives home and receives a message from Shirakawa asking if they can meet at the train station. Ryudo immediately thinks that this might be the moment she wants to end their relationship. On his way, he regrets not accepting her offer to visit her at home, believing that their relationship might be coming to an end. Upon arriving at the park, the two meet, and Ryudo wants to get everything out in the open quickly, telling her he enjoyed their short time together. However, Shirakawa interrupts him by showing him her new phone case. It's a limited edition, and she went to great lengths to get it. To Ryudo's surprise, she pulls out an identical case, a gift for him. She had asked her friend to stand in line with her because they were only giving out one case per person. The two of them spent the entire day waiting in line and playing games, which led to their phone batteries dying, explaining why she couldn't see Ryudo's message. She thought that if she was getting such a special case for herself, she should get one for her boyfriend as well. This was also why she hadn't talked to him at school. She was so excited to give him the gift and couldn't contain her anticipation. After receiving the gift, Ryudo was silent for a moment, leaving Shirakawa feeling uneasy. She immediately worried he didn't want a matching phone case and began to apologize profusely. But the truth was, Ryudo was overwhelmed. He confessed to her that all this while, he had been plagued with insecurity, constantly wondering why a girl as beautiful as her would be interested in someone like him. He assured her just how much the gift meant to him and how fortunate he felt to have her as his girlfriend. Shirakawa hadn't expected such a heartfelt reaction from him, and this left her a bit flustered. As they made their way home together, they continued their chat, with Shirakawa revealing that she had planned this surprise for their one-week anniversary. Ryudo's mention of a past love piqued Shirakawa's curiosity instantly. She couldn't help but probe, wanting to know every detail about his previous romantic endeavor. This turned into another bonding moment for them as they shared personal stories and experiences with each other. Ryudo spoke of his former desk mate at school and how he had fallen in love with her after she dropped hints indicating that she liked him. But on the day he confessed his feelings to Kuro's, she friend-zoned him. The rejection deeply hurt him and gave birth to his fears of being hurt again. Shirakawa, being the optimist, saw a silver lining in this tale. She expressed gratitude towards Kuro's, reasoning that if not for that event, perhaps she and Ryudo might not have ended up together. She then shared the romantic story of her parents, who met in school and eventually got married. She dreamily mentioned that she yearned for a love story similar to theirs. As they were engrossed in their conversation, a sports car zoomed past them, capturing Shirakawa's attention instantly. Ryudo's eyes lit up, showcasing his vast knowledge about such vehicles. He rattled off details about the car, leaving Shirakawa in awe, as she hadn't expected this side of him. While the barrage of information was a bit overwhelming for her, she felt a surge of admiration seeing this passionate side of her boyfriend. It was a new layer to Ryudo that she had just uncovered, and she found it incredibly attractive. Drawing a parallel to the sports car, Shirakawa confided that she always wanted to speed past others, craving the thrill of quickly accumulating experiences. This impulsive nature of hers had led her to rush into relationships, causing them to end prematurely. As they delved deeper into personal stories, she revealed that her parents had divorced, which had a profound impact on her perception of love and relationships. Regardless of her past, Shirakawa expressed genuine happiness about her current relationship with Ryudo. She found contentment in the pace at which their bond was growing, contrasting it to the hurried relationships she had before. Later in the evening, she reinforced this sentiment in a conversation with her friend, who still held reservations about Ryudo. But life, with its unpredictability, had another surprise in store. As days went by, Ryudo was taken aback to find out that his first love, Kuro's Maria, had transferred to his school and was now in his class. This revelation threatened to stir old emotions and possibly complicate the budding relationship between Ryudo and Shirakawa. Ryudo is introduced to a new classmate at his school, and to his surprise, it's his old childhood crush, Kuro's Maria. Everyone is taken aback by her because they find her incredibly cute and beautiful. Ryudo is equally shocked and recalls memories of her, especially the time when she friend-zoned him when they were younger. However, he finds solace in the fact that he already has a beautiful girlfriend, Shirakawa. Kuros introduces herself to the class, expressing her excitement to get to know everyone. Among the classmates, she notices Ryudo. Meanwhile, Ryudo is pondering over how he should approach her. To his astonishment, the teacher decides to seat Kuros next to Ryudo. Neither of them is pleased with this arrangement, causing Ryudo to lose his composure entirely. The bell rings, signaling the start of the break. Students bustle around, chatting and laughing. Among the noise, Kuros approaches Ryudo with a look of curiosity. "Is it really you?" she inquires, her voice tinged with a mix of hope and uncertainty. "Are you the same Ryudo I remember from back then?" He pauses for a moment, considering her question before nodding. "Yes, Kuros, it's me," he admits, a soft smile playing on his lips. Her face brightens, eyes shimmering with joy. "I can't believe we're seatmates now," she exclaims, "of all the coincidences." As they converse, Ryudo's ears pick up a conversation from a nearby group of students. They're in a heated debate, comparing the merits of Shirakawa and Kuros and discussing whom they prefer. He discreetly listens, feeling a twinge of discomfort at the casual way his classmates discuss the two girls. However, amidst the chatter and discussions, Ryudo's thoughts drift to a more pressing concern. The memory of a confession he made to Kuros in the past lingers in his mind. The fear of that intimate moment becoming public knowledge weighs heavily on him. Although part of him yearns to rekindle the camaraderie they once shared, he can't help but feel that, for the sake of preserving both their reputations, it might be best to maintain a certain distance from Kuros for now. Kuros receives compliments from her new friends in the class, which prompts Ryudo to momentarily leave the room. Outside the class, he's confronted by Shirakawa's best friend, Nikaru, catching him off guard. She persuades him to accompany her to a burger joint, and Ryudo nervously asks if he's done something wrong. The two sit in tense silence, the atmosphere thick with tension. Breaking the silence, Nikaru inquires if Ryudo is even aware that Shirakawa's birthday is the following week. He's taken aback, admitting he was oblivious. Nikaru gets upset, questioning the depth of his feelings for Shirakawa and pointing out that normally couples know such details from the early stages of their relationship. She calms down and instructs him to celebrate Shirakawa's birthday in some special way, mentioning she brought him here to discuss this in Shirakawa's absence. Before parting, Ryudo, wanting to reciprocate the thoughtful gift he once received from Shirakawa, seeks Nikaru's advice on a birthday present. She sits back down to help him pick the perfect gift. However, unbeknownst to them, there's someone in the distance secretly taking photos of the two. The bustling sounds of the train station surround Ryudo as he steps onto the platform. Amid the sea of people rushing to catch their trains, a familiar face catches his eye. It's Shirakawa, standing by a pillar, her gaze fixed on him. It's clear she's been waiting, a certain anticipation in her stance. Their earlier agreement to avoid interactions at school made the station their unofficial meeting spot, but seeing her there today was unexpected. Without missing a beat, she strides up to him. Her phone in hand, she presents him with an image, a candid shot of him and Nikaru, evidently deep in conversation. The photo has been making the rounds in a girls' group chat, accompanied by playful taunts and jests at Ryudo's expense. Though the teasing chatter of the girls in the background might have been a source of embarrassment for many, Ryudo can see the real concern in Shirakawa's eyes. Is it true? She inquires, her voice steady but with a hint of vulnerability. Did you and Nikaru really meet in secret? Stammering, a bit lost for words due to the sudden confrontation, Ryudo nods. Yes, we met, he confesses, feeling the weight of her gaze. Seeking to divert the conversation, he musters the courage to ask, "Shirakawa, are you free next Sunday? I'd love to celebrate your birthday together." He reveals that it was during this very clandestine meeting with Nikaru that he discovered the date of her special day. This piece of information seems to melt away some of the tension, as a soft smile appears on Shirakawa's face. She agrees, her earlier stern demeanor now replaced with a more playful one. With their plan set, she gestures to the school's direction, indicating she'll head there first. Ryudo watches her go, his heart racing. As the distance between them grows, a thought crosses his mind. Was that a hint of jealousy he detected in her eyes earlier? The realization warms him, adding a bounce to his step as he follows her path towards the school. On her birthday, the two head to Harajuku, a place that always lifts Shirakawa's spirits, a tip Ryudo got from her friend Nikaru. They stop by a cafe, and Ryudo treats her to her favorite drink, a detail also orchestrated by Nikaru. She thoroughly enjoys her beverage, prompting Ryudo to reveal that he'd sampled drinks from numerous cafes to find the very best for her. He excitedly pulls out a comprehensive plan and begins to enthusiastically chatter about his entire process. It's so detailed that Shirakawa struggles to keep up. She's immensely impressed and asks if he likes bubble tea, leading him to confess that he embarked on this quest solely for her. Worried that he might have said something amiss, Ryudo is relieved to see that Shirakawa deeply appreciates his efforts. Together, they continue their cafe hop, ticking off every cafe on Ryudo's meticulously curated list until they are both utterly stuffed. By the time they reach the last cafe, they're so full that Shirakawa decides to share her drink with Ryudo. He's taken aback, realizing that drinking from the same straw would mean an indirect kiss. Mustering the courage, he takes a sip, overwhelmed with emotions. Following suit, Shirakawa too takes a gulp. She playfully remarks about their first indirect kiss, Flushed with embarrassment, Ryudo is still elated to be sharing this moment with his girlfriend. The day slowly draws to a close, and the two set out for home, both contentedly full. Ryudo wants to discuss Nikaru with Shirakawa, but she interrupts him. They spot another couple, where the guy is presenting a gift to his girlfriend. This reminds Ryudo that he intended to buy a present for Shirakawa. He checks his wallet and, to his horror, realizes he has spent nearly all his money, leaving only 1,000 yen, even though he still wanted to buy her a gift. However, Shirakawa simply wants the detailed plan that Ryudo crafted for the day. To her, the plan is astonishing and is a testament to Ryudo's love and dedication. She believes that the day itself was gift enough and that the plan was symbolic of his feelings for her, making it even more special. Ryudo promises to craft an even grander plan next time. They head home, with Shirakawa expressing her gratitude for a wonderful 17th birthday celebration. At school, Ryudo notices that the rumors and lies about Shirakawa have been increasingly mentioned lately. He's puzzled, as while there have always been whispers, they've recently intensified. He sits on the rooftop with his friends, lost in thought, until Nikaru, Shirakawa's friend, suddenly appears, causing Ryudo's friends to scatter. Having learned about the date between Ryudo and Shirakawa, she labels him an odd bird. She then addresses the topic of the increasing rumors surrounding Shirakawa and inquires if Ryudo has also noticed. Together, they begin to speculate about who might be spreading these rumors and why they're gaining traction. In the classroom, Ryudo takes his seat and is greeted by Kuros, who promptly offers him some cookies, which he gratefully accepts. Since Kuros forgot her book, they share Ryudo's. As they do, she begins to touch Ryudo subtly, momentarily flustering him. The teacher interrupts the class to step into the staff room, and Kuros seizes the opportunity to apologize to Ryudo for rejecting him in the past. She explains that back then, she didn't understand relationships and how to be in one. As she says this, she moves closer to him, hinting that she now appreciates the benefits of being in a relationship. She subtly suggests she's interested in him. Caught off guard, Ryudo gently deflects her advances, mentioning he already has a steady girlfriend. Kuros' curiosity is piqued, and she probes for more details. While Ryudo considers sharing details with her, he recalls the recent event and decides against it, keeping the details to himself. Ryudo worries that if their relationship is exposed, Shirakawa might become the subject of ridicule. By chance, he spots Shirakawa entering an empty classroom with another guy and decides to follow them discreetly. Inside, the guy asks Shirakawa if she would consider dating him. However, she declines, revealing she's already in a relationship. The guy, taken aback, presses her for details, curious about who her boyfriend is, but she remains tight-lipped. She explains that her boyfriend is incredibly shy and prefers to keep their relationship under wraps to protect her, although, from her perspective, she wouldn't mind making it public. The guy speculates that perhaps she's withholding the truth because she fears others might think her boyfriend is a bore, but she immediately contradicts that notion. Shirakawa doesn't find her boyfriend dull at all and respects his wishes, which is why she's keeping the relationship a secret. She emphasizes that she wouldn't be embarrassed about their relationship even if the whole world knew about it. Hearing this, Ryudo is deeply moved. As students leave school for the day, Ryudo stays behind to complete his classroom duties. During this time, Kuros approaches him, initiating a conversation about Shirakawa. She mentions that an acquaintance of hers once dated Shirakawa and had spoken very poorly about her, even claiming to have suffered in the relationship. Kuros suggests that everyone should be aware of this side of Shirakawa, especially given how many guys find her attractive but know little about her true nature. As she speaks, Ryudo pieces together the puzzle, realizing that Kuros is the one spreading rumors about Shirakawa. With every negative word Kuros utters, Ryudo's anger builds. It reaches a boiling point when she insinuates that Shirakawa's deceptive nature is well known. Unable to contain himself, Ryudo confronts her about spreading falsehoods about Shirakawa, emphasizing that she knows nothing about Shirakawa's true character and that her boyfriend is incredibly happy with her. Kuros, trying to gain the upper hand, asks him pointedly who this mysterious boyfriend is. In a moment of raw emotion, spurred by anger and determination, Ryudo stands tall and proclaims to the entire class, "I am Shirakawa's boyfriend." The proclamation echoes in the silent classroom, and the few remaining students turn their heads in astonishment, taking in the revelation. Ryudo is arguing with Kuros, and he loudly proclaims in class that he is Shirakawa's boyfriend, even though he wanted to keep it a secret for her safety. Everyone is stunned and taken aback by the situation and can't believe what Ryudo said. Even Shirakawa's friends don't believe him until she herself confirms that she's with Ryudo. Upon the announcement that Shirakawa is Ryudo's girlfriend, everyone is shocked and immediately begins to think positively of her. The boys see her as an angel and very kind for giving such a loser a chance, while the girls conclude that the rumors about Shirakawa taking advantage of her boyfriends are not true. Heroes is angry and hastily leaves the classroom, which prompts Ryudo to follow her. He confronts her, asking what's wrong and if she has been spreading the rumors about Shirakawa. She admits that she was the one because she wants to be number one and won't let Shirakawa take anything from her. In her anger, she reveals that Shirakawa is Kuro's twin sister, which shocks Ryudo. She speaks about their family situations and why they don't have the same last name and live together. She wishes that Shirakawa wasn't her sister. She feels that Shirakawa was always favored and loved more because she was very outgoing, while she herself was a more reserved child. She resented the fact that she always had to take the brunt of things, having to change places, names, and schools because their parents divorced. Even now, though she's tried to be like her, she finds that Shirakawa is still more sought after, and this frustrates her. Ryudo then appeals to her conscience, telling her that it's not the right path and that she should try to be more like herself. While he too sometimes feels overshadowed by Shirakawa's presence, he accepts it and remains true to himself because it's the right thing to do. Following this, Kuro slips and Ryudo catches her. Later at school, Ryudo encounters Shirakawa and her friend. He's startled by her, but she commends him for the action he took. She then says goodbye, leaving Shirakawa and Ryudo to exchange awkward glances. On their way home, they discuss how they initially wanted to keep their relationship a secret, but Ryudo decided to reveal it because he didn't want their classmates to have such an impression of her due to the rumors. This revelation shocks Shirakawa, and she's touched that he did it for her sake, even being moved to tears. Such rumors usually don't bother her, but the situation has deeply affected her. She also knows that Ryudo is now aware of the family situation between her and Kuro's. She mentions that she intended to tell him herself and feels that Kuro's is a good sister. In the conversation, Ryudo also makes it clear that he never believed the rumors from the start and loves the Shirakawa standing before him, emphasizing that the past doesn't matter in this case. We briefly see Kuro's at school, frustrated because she's once again on the verge of falling for Ryudo but fears she won't be his number one. At home, Ryudo gets ready for school, dreading it since it's the day after the revelation of their relationship. Surprisingly, people at school greet him, and he's perceived and treated differently by everyone. After school, he and Shirakawa are in a cafe. Since Ryudo has put in so much effort for the relationship, she now wants to give it her all too. He's pleased about this, and they chat about his hobbies. After a brief awkward moment, he begins to passionately discuss his interests, which confuses Shirakawa. He shows her what he enjoys watching, and she leans in closer, curious about what her boyfriend is into. However, all he can focus on are her lips, making him nervous. The following day at school, under the clear blue sky and with the gentle breeze ruffling his hair, Ryudo finds a quiet spot with his friends on the rooftop, a place that always brought them solace and allowed them to share their deepest secrets. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, he opens up about his budding feelings and the urge he feels to kiss Shirakawa. The atmosphere is thick with tension as he explains how every moment they spend together makes him yearn for a closer connection, and he wonders if a kiss would be the next natural step. His friends, however, initially react with a blend of surprise and frustration. Of all the people in the world, why come to us with this? They tease, half serious, half joking. They reminisce about past times when they'd all shared their first crushes and silly love stories, and how Ryudo's situation was now different and more profound. The air is thick with their unspoken feelings, jealousy that one of their own was moving forward in a romantic journey, nostalgia for their shared past, and genuine concern for Ryudo's emotional well-being. After a hearty discussion and some playful ribbing, they decide to put aside their feelings and help Ryudo navigate this new chapter of his life. They assess the situation and, after some reflection, come to a unanimous consensus. They feel Ryudo might be rushing things, and while his feelings are genuine, the foundation needs to be more robust. "You're not ready for a kiss yet," they claim, emphasizing the importance of smaller gestures that could mean just as much. With a shared nod, they propose that he should focus on deepening their bond by starting with the seemingly simple yet intimate act of holding hands with Shirakawa. At school, Ryudo invites his girlfriend to a date at Yono Park for the weekend, to which she immediately agrees, much to his delight. He and his friends have plotted Operation Hand Holding to advance to the next level in his relationship with her. His plan is to wait for a moment when she stumbles so he can grab her hand to prevent her from falling. During class, he's called upon, but lost in his thoughts, he hasn't been paying attention. Hiro steps in to help him find the correct answer. She also apologizes to him and asks him not to hold a grudge for the things she's done. Ryudo forgives her, saying it's no problem, making Kuros happy, but she also blushes in response. On the day of their date, Ryudo wants to head straight to see the swans, but Shirakawa stops him and surprises him with a lunchbox she made, leaving him in awe. They sit down, and he opens the lunchbox to find an omelet shaped like a heart. She's flustered because the food shifted during transit, but Ryudo doesn't mind and immediately starts eating, commenting on how delicious it is, which delights Shirakawa. In the midst of this, Ryudo receives a text from Shirakawa's friend, telling him to eat everything from the box as she had helped Shirakawa prepare it. Later, as they stroll, they decide to go boating. As per the plan, Shirakawa stumbles, and in that moment, Ryudo tries to grab her hand. However, he misses, and she lands safely in the boat. He's taken aback and frustrated by the situation, but they continue with the boat ride. He hopes she'll stumble again when getting out of the boat, but to his disappointment, she doesn't. As they walk, Shirakawa notices how lost in thought her boyfriend seems. Ryudo wants to touch his girlfriend because he loves her, but he's afraid of hurting her or making her think he's like her ex-boyfriends, so he wants to proceed with caution. However, his demeanor backfires when Shirakawa stops and asks Ryudo what's bothering him. She's had similar experiences with her ex-boyfriends, where they distanced themselves in such situations and eventually broke up with her. He assures her he had no intention of breaking up and shares that he had contemplated going boating again so he could try his plan one more time. She agrees, and they set off for another boat ride. This time, Ryudo approaches the situation differently. He gets on the boat first and then offers his hand to assist his girlfriend, which makes her blush. She takes his hand, and with that, Ryudo achieves his goal. The two indulge in a serene boat ride, with the gentle ripples of water and the soft glow of the setting sun setting a perfect romantic backdrop. The atmosphere, coupled with their mutual affection, makes Shirakawa reflect on their recent journey together. She feels it was an excellent decision to take a second boat ride, not just for the sheer joy of it, but more because of the intimate moment of holding Ryudo's hand. Opening up, she shyly admits that in recent days, she too had imagined interlocking her fingers with his, feeling his warmth and comfort. It's a heartwarming realization that they both were thinking along the same lines, their hearts resonating with the same wish. In the heat of the moment, overwhelmed with emotions, Shirakawa, with her eyes shining brighter than the waters around them, stands up and gently places her lips on Ryudo's. The surprise and intensity of the gesture leave him blushing, his heart racing, and completely taken aback. They share a silent understanding. Since they were both on the same page about holding hands, it wasn't a stretch to believe Ryudo had also been thinking about a kiss. Shirakawa's bold move not only conveyed her affection, but also her earnest desire. She passionately expresses how she wishes to let their love story unfold organically, to let their emotions deepen, and to transform their budding relationship into one that's genuine and eternal. Upon reaching the shore, the two find themselves instinctively intertwined, their hands locked together. Shirakawa, with a gentle grip, doesn't show any intention of letting Ryudo's hand go. The ambient noise fades as they amble along the bank, their footsteps synchronizing. During their leisurely stroll, she shares a more intimate detail about herself, revealing that her given name is Runa. She softly expresses her wish for Ryudo to address her by this name, making their bond even more personal. Caught off guard and deeply touched, Ryudo tries to voice her name but stumbles, his cheeks tinted with a blush of embarrassment. With a tender smile, Shirakawa assures him, suggesting he take the time he needs to grow comfortable with this newfound intimacy. Previously, acts like holding hands and sharing a kiss came naturally to Shirakawa, almost routine. But now, with Ryudo, every gesture feels amplified, making her unexpectedly self-conscious. She ponders aloud, attributing this heightened emotion to their decision to savor every step of their blossoming relationship. She confesses her belief that this unhurried approach might just be the key for her to experience a profound, genuine love for Ryudo. His heart swells with happiness, grateful for this unexpected journey with Shirakawa. Deep down, he hopes that this bond they share remains unbreakable, wishing to keep her close forever. Heroes is at home, surrounded by the quiet hum of her room, diligently trying to focus on her homework. Yet, she finds herself constantly distracted, her mind drifting back to Ryudo and his reassuring words that he wouldn't bear any animosity towards her. This constant thought gnaws at her, making her question the origin and depth of these burgeoning feelings. Overwhelmed and frustrated, she lays her head down on the desk, her heart heavy as she continuously ponders Ryudo's words. Amid the swirling emotions, a revelation emerges. She yearns to be loved by him, and in her mind, the only way to achieve that affection is to emulate Shirakawa's demeanor and charm. To realize this aspiration, she believes she must pry Ryudo away from Shirakawa. With a hint of malevolence in her voice, she murmurs that Shirakawa should deeply value the fleeting moments she shares with Ryudo. Shirakawa and Ryudo are sitting in a restaurant, with Shirakawa looking over some homework. They are studying together for their English class, during which Ryudo explains certain English terms to his girlfriend, using examples to help her understand better. They discuss the term for a special kind of person, and Shirakawa compares her boyfriend to this term, stating that in a world where all men would cheat, she believes Ryudo would be the last to do so. This strong belief makes Ryudo blush, creating a loving atmosphere between the two. Ryudo and Shirakawa's walk through the meandering paths of their neighborhood is enveloped in the tranquility of the evening, the sinking sun casting long shadows that mingle with the crisp early hints of autumn. The ease of their companionship is palpable, the result of days filled with shared experiences and quiet understandings that have knitted their lives closely together. The topic of their upcoming one-month anniversary arises as naturally as the evening breeze, introduced by Shirakawa with a lighthearted tone that belies the significance of the milestone. The conversation takes a turn from the routine to the celebratory, with Shirakawa proposing a seaside getaway to mark the occasion. The suggestion of the beach brings with it the promise of a new setting for their budding romance, a canvas of sun, sea, and sand waiting to be colored by their memories. Ryudo's heart races at the thought, not just at the prospect of commemorating their relationship, but also at the mental image of the carefree day ahead. The beach, with its rhythmic waves and endless horizon, presents the perfect backdrop for their celebration. The thought of the salty air, the laughter of beachgoers, and the cool water lapping at their feet weaves a picturesque scene in his mind. He imagines the two of them there, the sun casting a golden glow on their skin, the playful banter as they chase the ebbing tide, and the peace of resting side by side on the warm sand. The imagery is so vivid, so enticing, that Ryudo can almost feel the sun's warmth and taste the ocean breeze. With a sense of longing and anticipation, he eagerly agrees to the plan, already looking forward to the special day when they can escape the confines of the everyday and celebrate the joy of their growing connection under the vast, open sky. In the classroom, the atmosphere is charged with anticipation as students receive their test results. Shirakawa's face lights up with a smile as she looks at her score. To her, it's a beacon of success, modest yet deeply satisfying. She feels a sense of liberation, ready to embrace the beach's tranquility. Curiously, she turns to Ryudo, whose test reflects a level of excellence that leaves her both proud and awestruck. Meanwhile, Kurosa's eyes, heavy with unspoken thoughts, track their interaction with an intense gaze that belies her cool exterior. On the school roof, Ryudo is sitting with his friends, who are all excited about the upcoming holidays, planning to stay at home and play video games. Ryudo comes out of the bathroom and is immediately greeted by Kuros. She asks if he could tutor her in English because she's not doing well, but Ryudo declines, explaining that he's already committed to helping his girlfriend. Kuros tries to ask for help with math instead, but he suggests that one of his friends could assist her. Kuros refuses, insisting that she wants tutoring from him specifically. She makes one last attempt, asking for his contact ID, but he blocks her, making it clear that he's not seeking conversation with her and prefers not to have any contact. Ryudo waits at the train station for his girlfriend when Kuros once again tries to contact him for tutoring, but he declines once more. As she persists, Shirakawa appears, and Ryudo begins to ignore Kuros. The couple arrives at the beach and Shirakawa is incredibly excited that they have finally made it. They change clothes, and Ryudo is initially overwhelmed by the situation at the beach until Shirakawa shows up in her bikini. He is struck by how beautiful she looks and finds himself admiring every aspect of her appearance. He feels joyful and proud to have such a beauty as his girlfriend. Shirakawa notices something is up with Ryudo and realizes he is blushing at the sight of his bikini-clad girlfriend, teasing him a little about it. She grabs his hand, and they head to the beach to enjoy their holiday as much as possible. On the beach, the couple sits on the sand and Shirakawa asks her boyfriend if he would apply sunscreen on her. He's initially shocked by the request and blushes deeply, but eventually agrees. He starts to apply the sunscreen, even going under her bikini, which tickles Shirakawa and makes the situation a bit uncomfortable for him. Ryudo gets lost in his thoughts, and after finishing, she thanks him for his help, and he thanks her for allowing him to do it. He observes the other guys on the beach, impressed by how naturally they behave, until a ball flies towards him, which he catches. Shirakawa encourages him to get up and join her in the water. They have fun splashing and playing in the water, relaxing until they decide to get something to drink and eat. Resting after their meal, they are grateful for the good weather, especially since a typhoon had been predicted. Shirakawa jokes that the pleasant weather is a result of her being good lately, and that Ryudo should thank her. Gathering his courage, Ryudo compliments his girlfriend, telling her she looks pretty in her bikini. She's delighted by the compliment and blushes. She shares that she went shopping for a long time with her friends to choose this bikini and even had her nails done especially for the beach. As they admire her nails, however, a large storm cloud starts to roll in towards them. It starts to rain, and the couple stands in front of a hotel, calling their parents to ask if they can stay overnight. They initially consider getting separate rooms, but it's cheaper to share one. Shirakawa doesn't mind, so they decide to share a room. In the room, Ryudo offers to let his girlfriend use the bathroom first while he changes, as they both got wet in the rain. She is happy with the arrangement and takes up the offer to go to the bathroom. Ryudo is once again overwhelmed by the situation, thinking they might take the next step in their relationship. He can't stay still and starts doing sit-ups. Shirakawa catches him in the act and is surprised to see her boyfriend so fit she wants to feel his abs. But this is too much for Ryudo, who blocks her advance and decides to take a bath himself while she apologizes to him. In the bathroom, Ryudo is confused about what just happened and tries to make sense of it. They sit down to watch the news and Ryudo notices the beds are close together, then looks at Shirakawa. She is embarrassed by his gaze because she has no makeup on and fears she looks unattractive, but Ryudo compliments her, saying she looks pretty and cute. This makes her blush, and they both lie down to sleep. Ryudo and Shirakawa lie in bed, unable to sleep. At this moment, Shirakawa asks him if he wants to do it. However, he asks her if she's sure and really in the mood, to which she responds that it's mean to keep him in suspense like this. He worries she might revert to old patterns, but she assures him that's not the case because her feelings for him have grown strong, which pleases him. She shares that she never felt the urge to initiate physical contact in her past relationships as she does with him. In their relationship, her desire has grown since their first kiss, and she expresses that her love for him has deepened over the past month. She believes that as their relationship continues, her affection and desire to touch him will only increase. Hearing this, Ryudo agrees that they should sleep, suggesting they should only take the next step when Shirakawa truly wants to. She wonders why he's so kind, and he responds that it's because he loves her very much. Shirakawa asks for a hug, and he agrees, sitting up to embrace her, which they both deeply enjoy as they haven't really hugged each other before. Shirakawa hopes it will be just as special at their 2-month anniversary, and eventually, they fall asleep holding hands. Meanwhile, Kiro sits in her room, upset that Ryudo hasn't responded to her messages. She wonders why he chose Shirakawa over her and comes up with an idea. The next day, Ryudo takes his girlfriend Shirakawa home and says goodbye to her. He couldn't sleep a wink the previous night, overwhelmed by the sweetness of falling asleep hand in hand with her. Deciding to head home to catch up on sleep, he unexpectedly runs into Shirakawa's friend Nikoru. Nikoru pulls him into the restaurant where she works, offers him something to eat, and starts inquiring about his relationship with Shirakawa. She mentions that Shirakawa thinks a lot about Ryudo and asks if that bothers him, which he denies. He shares that Shirakawa's ex-boyfriends always felt smothered by her attentiveness and called her a demon. Nikoru explains that a relationship is only balanced when both partners are open with each other, including sharing their problems, and Ryudo finds this perspective insightful. Then Nikoru brings up the 2-month curse that Shirakawa seems to be haunted by, as many of her past relationships deteriorated around that time, with her exes cheating or growing cold before breaking up with her. Although Shirakawa trusts Ryudo, Nikoru senses that she still harbors fears due to her past and wants reassurance from Ryudo that he won't hurt her in the same way. Ryudo promises that he won't cause her such worries and asserts he's not like the others. On his way home, Ryudo becomes aware of how much Shirakawa actually worries during their relationship, and he wants to continue making her happy. He receives a call from an unknown number, and the person on the phone claims to be Shirakawa. She explains that she ran out of battery after meeting with her mother and sister Kuro's, which is why she's calling from a different phone. She asks to meet with Ryudo even though he is tired and wants to go home, but she pleads with him, and his urge to take care of his girlfriend makes him agree to the meeting. They meet at school, and in the dark, the person claiming to be Shirakawa says that she wants to go through with it with Ryudo. Ryudo finds the situation odd and is surprised by Shirakawa's sudden change of mind. As the person pretending to be Shirakawa gets closer to Ryudo, it becomes apparent that it is actually Kuro's. Meanwhile, the real Shirakawa is at home talking with her friend, affirming that Ryudo is hers and that he is special to her. And there we have it. Ryudo, standing in the school gym, is taken aback as he realizes that the person he thought was Shirakawa is actually Kuro's. He's confused and concerned, trying to understand her motives. Kuro's, with a mix of vulnerability and determination in her eyes, reveals her deep-seated feelings for Ryudo. She expresses her desire to be intimate with him, a declaration marked by both desperation and sincerity. She confesses her longing to be chosen over her sister, hinting at a complex web of sibling rivalry and unrequited love. Kuros goes further, proposing they keep their liaison a secret, assuring Ryudo that she would never involve his girlfriend or hurt her in any way. She seems to believe that their secret romance could exist in a bubble, away from the real-world consequences and the eyes of others. As she steps closer, her intentions clear, Ryudo finds himself in a moral quandary. Torn between the unexpected advance of Kuros and his commitment to Shirakawa, he faces a critical choice. Ryudo, driven by his loyalty and love for Shirakawa, firmly rejects Kuros' advances. He is resolute in his decision to protect Shirakawa's feelings and the innocence of their relationship. Despite Kuros' emotional plea, he cannot reciprocate her feelings, as doing so would betray the trust and love he shares with Shirakawa. As he gently but firmly pushes Kuros away, he sees a flicker of hurt and disappointment in her eyes. But he knows he must stay true to his heart. Their tense and emotional encounter is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the janitor's footsteps echoing in the hallway. Realizing the potential for misunderstanding and scandal, Ryudo and Kuros quickly compose themselves. With a mutual, unspoken agreement to avoid further complications, they hurriedly leave the gym, each lost in their own tumult of emotions. The abrupt end to their confrontation leaves both of them with unresolved feelings and questions about what just transpired. In the tranquility of the park, Kuros reveals her true identity to Ryudo by removing her wig. This act signals a moment of honesty and vulnerability. Ryudo, surprised and confused, asks if her actions were motivated by a desire for revenge against her sister. Kuros denies this, clarifying that her disguise and behavior were not driven by spite, but by a deeper, more personal reason, her love for Ryudo. She shares that her feelings for Ryudo developed unexpectedly, kindled by the honesty he displayed when he confronted her for spreading rumors about Shirakawa. This confrontation, though intended to protect Shirakawa, resonated with Kuros, making her see Ryudo in a new light. She interpreted his integrity and directness as qualities rarely found in others, sparking her affection. Ryudo, trying to comprehend this revelation, listens as Kuros confesses her long-standing desire to be like her sister, to be seen and loved by Ryudo. Her feelings for him, she admits, are deep and genuine. Yet, she is painfully aware that her love is one-sided and that Ryudo's heart belongs to Shirakawa. Acknowledging the futility of her feelings, Kuros apologizes to Ryudo, possibly for the confusion and discomfort she caused. Ryudo, feeling a mix of empathy and responsibility, is unsure how to console her without giving false hope. Just as he's about to express his thoughts, Kuros leans against him, seeking a moment of solace. In this quiet, poignant moment, Ryudo silently offers his presence as a form of comfort, understanding her need for emotional support in the wake of her unrequited love. At school, Ryudo reflects on Kuros, hoping she's alright, but decides to focus on his girlfriend Shirakawa and to put an end to his involvement with Kuros. As he's lost in thought, he notices everyone looking at him strangely and whispering about him. His friends confront him, upset, questioning why he would do such a thing. He becomes the main topic of conversation, with rumors circulating that he's having an affair with Kuros. To prove it, one of his friends shows him a picture from the night he was seen talking alone with Kuros. Kuros appears in the classroom, looking dejectedly at Ryudo, and takes a seat. Later in the classroom, Kuros clarifies that she wasn't involved and had nothing to do with spreading the rumors, especially after Ryudo rejected her the day before. She states that it wouldn't benefit her in any way, and she has her pride, apologizing to Ryudo for the whole situation. She assures him that she will deny everything if questioned and suggests he can block her if he wishes. As they head to class, they encounter Shirakawa in the hallway. The situation shocks everyone, and Kuros quickly leaves. Shirakawa then asks Ryudo if it's true that he used to love Kuros and got rejected by her. Ryudo's confirmation leads Shirakawa to believe the rumors about the affair, causing her to start crying and run away, dropping her phone in the process. As Ryudo reaches for the phone, Nikoru intervenes, picks it up, and berates him, calling him the worst and ending with a slap. During the graduation ceremony, Ryudo is lost in thoughts about Shirakawa, contemplating what he could have done differently, and is saddened by the fact that Shirakawa hasn't returned to him. During his summer break, Ryudo finds himself in a classroom setting, his attention divided between the lesson and his phone. For the past 2 weeks, he has sent daily messages to his girlfriend, yet each attempt to reach out has been met with silence. This lack of response has left him in a state of growing concern and confusion. His worry even leads him to her house, where he stands outside, battling the urge to ring the bell and confront the silence directly. But each time, he hesitates and ultimately walks away, choosing not to intrude. In an attempt to maintain a semblance of normalcy, Ryudo immerses himself in his studies, though his heart isn't in it. He is plagued by self-doubt and a sense of being at fault, wondering constantly what he might have done wrong. Meanwhile, Ryudo's friends are having a contrasting experience at the beach. Initially filled with the excitement of a carefree day, they soon find themselves at a loss for activities. Their attention shifts when they notice a new video upload from their favorite streamer. As they settle in to watch, their plan to dine at a nearby restaurant is thwarted by a crowd. As they decide on their next move, they are unexpectedly taken aback by the sight of someone familiar, stirring a mix of curiosity and surprise. Back in the classroom, Ryudo is lost in thought, questioning the value of his summer course, wondering if his investment in it is just a futile attempt to distract himself. His contemplations are abruptly interrupted by an alarming message from a friend. The message contains a photo showing Shirakawa with another guy, casting doubt and suspicion on her faithfulness. Stunned and desperate for clarity, Ryudo hastily departs from the class, driven by a need to confront Shirakawa and unearth the truth behind the unsettling image. His journey to the beach is marked by urgency and a tumult of emotions as he prepares himself for a conversation that could redefine their relationship. Upon arriving at the beach, Ryudo heads straight to the restaurant where Shirakawa is and finds her taking pictures in a bikini with her friend Nikoru. They call over Mao, the guy seen in the pictures. Nikoru comments that Shirakawa is smitten with him, which Shirakawa attributes to not seeing him often. Mao agrees to join them but is still on duty and mistakes Ryudo for a customer, greeting him politely. The girls immediately notice Ryudo and are shocked to see him there. Ryudo approaches Shirakawa, wanting to talk, and apologizes for the late confrontation. Mao is initially confused by the situation but soon begins to understand and realizes that Ryudo is Shirakawa's lover. Surprisingly, he introduces himself to Ryudo as her uncle, leaving Ryudo shocked. The group settles down, and Nikoru demands to hear what Ryudo has to say, warning him of potential consequences if she dislikes his words. However, she has to leave for work, and Shirakawa's uncle assures her he will handle the situation, leaving the couple alone. Ryudo begins by talking about Kuros, revealing she's the girl who rejected him in middle school. He apologizes for keeping it a secret, explaining he didn't want to make it into a big deal. He also shares Kuros' confession of love to him that night and how he clearly rejected her because he's with Shirakawa. He mentions Kuros' tears, which is when the photo was taken, and apologizes for that as well. Shirakawa, in return, apologizes for not trusting Ryudo, acknowledging she should have known he's different from her previous boyfriends. She understands why her sister fell for him and expresses pride in him for staying with Kuros while she cried, seeing it as a sign of his good character. She thanks Ryudo and reveals that she wasn't really angry at him but couldn't respond because her phone was still broken and she only recently got it fixed. She admits her fear of discovering the truth, as she's been incredibly happy since they became a couple and didn't want to face potential heartbreak, which delayed her phone repair. Shirakawa is happy Ryudo came to find her and takes his hand, but is surprised at how he found out her location. Meanwhile, Ryudo's friends are exhaustedly returning home by train. In the soft glow of the evening, Ryudo finds himself walking alongside Shirakawa and her uncle, heading to her grandmother's house. The air is filled with a sense of familial warmth, a stark contrast to the turmoil of emotions Ryudo has recently experienced. Upon arrival, Ryudo is greeted with the kind of affection and acceptance reserved for family members. He introduces himself as Shirakawa's boyfriend, a role he's still growing comfortable with, and is met with smiles and a heartfelt welcome from her grandmother. The uncle, playing the part of a hospitable host, insists that Ryudo should stay over, an offer that takes Ryudo by surprise. He's offered the first turn for a bath, a gesture of traditional Japanese hospitality that signifies respect and honor. Inside the cozy household, Shirakawa, with a hint of playfulness in her tone, inquires if Ryudo would be willing to spend the entire summer with her. Ryudo, touched by the invitation and the feeling of being woven into the fabric of her family, agrees without hesitation. Moved by this gesture, Shirakawa proposes an idea that further cements their growing bond. Ryudo should stay with her at her grandmother's house for the duration of her stay. The thought of spending extended time in such close quarters with Shirakawa and her family initially startles Ryudo. It's a big step, a leap into a level of intimacy and daily routine that he hadn't anticipated so soon. However, Shirakawa's suggestion that they could work together at her uncle's place makes the proposition more appealing. The thought of being side by side with Shirakawa, sharing both work and leisure, paints a picture of a summer Ryudo had never imagined but finds increasingly enticing. Charmed by Shirakawa's endearing charm and the warm embrace of her family, Ryudo accepts the invitation. The decision marks a new chapter in their relationship, one filled with the promise of shared experiences, deeper understanding, and the weaving of their lives together in a more profound way. Ryudo finds himself in a dream on the beach, reminiscing about his girlfriend Shirakawa, until a bright light awakens him to Shirakawa's face right before him. Shocked, he realizes that the person who woke him up is Shirakawa, hovering over him. He can hardly believe that he will be spending the rest of the summer with her. The picturesque beach, Shirakawa and Ryudo find themselves engrossed in their work at her uncle's seaside seaside restaurant. Ryudo, still new to this environment, often relies on Shirakawa's expertise, especially when dealing with customers. Her patience and guidance prove invaluable, creating a harmonious working dynamic between them. The uncle, observing their seamless collaboration, often commends them for their exceptional teamwork, which not only makes the restaurant operations smoother but also adds a warm, welcoming atmosphere for the guests. Their days at the restaurant are filled with various tasks, from serving customers to managing the inventory. Ryudo, eager to learn and adapt, absorbs every detail Shirakawa shares, showing his dedication to both the job and to understanding her world better. In a touching gesture of support, Ryudo's mother sends a care package filled with his essentials, ensuring her son's comfort during his summer at the beach. One particularly busy afternoon, as they were deep in their cleaning duties, Shirakawa, noticing Ryudo's intense focus, playfully suggests a brief respite. However, Ryudo, committed to his studies, decides to use the break to catch up on his learning. It's during this moment of quiet concentration that two boisterous men enter the scene, blatantly attempting to flirt with Shirakawa. Ryudo, caught off guard by their forwardness, wrestles with his emotions. He feels protective yet hesitant, unsure how to handle the situation without escalating it. The conversation continues, with the men growing more persistent in their advances. Ryudo, witnessing Shirakawa's discomfort, musters the courage to intervene. With a calm but firm tone, he inquires if the men are there as customers, subtly hinting at their unwelcome behavior. Realizing the implication, the men quickly make their exit, but not before curiously asking Shirakawa who she finds the most attractive. To their surprise and dismay, she confidently chooses Ryudo, proudly affirming her commitment to him. This declaration, revealing the depth of their relationship, leaves the men both shocked and somewhat embarrassed, hastening their departure from the restaurant. This incident, while unsettling, subtly strengthens the bond between Shirakawa and Ryudo, showcasing their mutual respect and care for each other in challenging situations. Shirakawa's frustration is palpable as she voices her annoyance about being constantly hit on by such individuals. Ryudo, feeling a sense of responsibility, apologizes for not stepping in sooner. Despite the recent incident, Shirakawa is taken aback to find Ryudo immersed in his studies. He explains that his mother, wanting to support his educational journey, had sent him a package filled with study materials. This gesture from his mother and Ryudo's dedication impressed Shirakawa, who sees in him a great potential and envisions a future where he attends a prestigious university. Shifting the conversation, Shirakawa opens up about her friend Nikaru, whose ambitions lie in pursuing a career in nail artistry. She talks about Nikaru's drive and determination, fueled by her desire to gain independence, especially considering her background with a single mother. This leads Shirakawa to ponder over the post-graduation paths of her peers, contrasting their clear-cut goals with her own uncertainty about the future. She admits that, rather than focusing on a specific career path, her heart is set on finding and nurturing true love, desiring a lifelong bond with that special someone. Shirakawa's dreams extend beyond romantic aspirations. She envisions a future where she is deeply involved with her family, whether it be spending more time with her existing family or building her own. She fantasizes about being a mother to numerous children and cherishing a profound love with her husband. This revelation about her deep-seated aspirations and dreams catches Ryudo off guard, as he hadn't fully grasped the extent of her thoughts about the future. Realizing that Shirakawa has already imagined a shared future with him, Ryudo feels a renewed sense of purpose and determination. This insight into her hopes and dreams motivates him to put in even more effort into his own pursuits, driven by a desire to be worthy of the future Shirakawa envisions and to make those dreams a shared reality. Shirakawa is upset when she finds out there are no potatoes at home because she wanted to cook something special for her boyfriend. The couple decides to go shopping to buy potatoes. On their way home, Shirakawa purposely takes a bag from her boyfriend just so she can hold his hand while walking. Together, they cook, and Shirakawa is delighted as they start to do things resembling a married couple. After the meal is prepared, she even feeds Ryudo, who finds the food delicious. This moment makes Shirakawa realize the beauty of being in a relationship. Kuros, Shirakawa's sister, comes home and learns from her mother about a family gathering at the summer festival. Initially, she agrees to attend, but upon discovering Shirakawa and Ryudo will be there, she makes up an excuse to avoid it. Shirakawa is saddened when she hears her sister and mother won't be coming. She speculates that Kuros is avoiding them, as they haven't really spoken in 2 years and don't text each other. She recalls being shocked when her sister visited her school and didn't recognize her, feeling uncomfortable being at the same school due to their differences. Despite loving her sister deeply, Ryudo thinks Kuros might just need some time and advises not to overthink it. Shirakawa plans to reconnect and become friends friends with her sister again. Meanwhile, Shirakawa's uncle returns home with her repaired phone, and she is thrilled, immediately responding to all her messages. Ryudo is simply mesmerized by Shirakawa's beauty, his heart pounding, until she invites him to record a video with her. At the restaurant, Shirakawa's uncle shows his gratitude to Ryudo for his diligent work by offering him his wages. Ryudo, feeling a bit hesitant at first, is persuaded to accept after the uncle explains the significant impact his assistance had on completing his writing work. Sensing an opportunity, the uncle suggests Ryudo use the money to plan a special surprise for Shirakawa in celebration of their 2-month anniversary at the upcoming summer festival. While contemplating the perfect surprise, Ryudo receives a call from Shirakawa, playfully delaying him before inviting him inside. Upon entering, he is greeted by the sight of Shirakawa elegantly adorned in a traditional kimono. Her appearance leaves him in awe, and he can't help but express how adorable she looks. Shirakawa, with a twinkle in her eye, teases him by suggesting she might have looked even more attractive in a bikini, a comment that Ryudo chuckles at and gently rebuffs. The couple then heads to the summer festival, immersing themselves in the vibrant atmosphere. They try their luck at various games, where Ryudo's lack of skill turns into a source of gentle amusement for them both. Strolling through the bustling market, they engage in playful activities, trying on whimsical masks and savoring the array of local foods and sweets. Their exploration leads them to a jewelry stall, where Shirakawa's attention is drawn to a moonstone ring, symbolic of her birth month. Unfortunately, they find it already sold out, casting a brief shadow of disappointment on Shirakawa's face. Yet, even this minor setback becomes a part of their festival experience, adding depth to their collection of shared memories on this lively, enchanting evening. On their way home, Ryudo asks Shirakawa if everything is alright. He is especially concerned because this is his first time attending a summer festival with a girl. He shares that he hasn't been to such a festival since elementary school, and that many of the day's activities were first for him. He continues to reflect on the new experiences he's had thanks to their relationship, expressing his happiness. Shirakawa, however, begins to feel a tinge of sadness, pondering over her parents' relationship and why she can't also be experiencing things for the first time. She feels envious that Ryudo is having so many firsts in their relationship and becomes upset that it isn't the same for her, eventually breaking down in tears, wishing she could forget all her past memories. She feels sorrowful that she hasn't been able to give him as many first moments as he has given her. Ryudo comforts her, saying she has already given him plenty of memorable moments, referring to the emotions she has shared with him. On all their dates, she has shown him new feelings, which has made him very happy. He then presents his surprise gift for their 2-month anniversary, revealing that he bought her the moonstone ring she had wanted. He explains that he purchased it on their way home but feels it can't make up for all the feelings she has shared with him. Shirakawa disagrees, saying that the ring is enough and that being with him is the best gift she could have. Ryudo places the ring on her finger and suggests that they should share more first moments together, believing that if they want, they can experience many firsts together. Shirakawa agrees, looking forward to the forthcoming moments they will share. As Shirakawa gazes at her beautiful ring, its sparkle is enhanced by the vibrant colors of the fireworks bursting in the night sky at the festival. The scene is nothing short of magical, and both she and Ryudo are captivated by the spectacle. Finding themselves in what seems to be the perfect spot, they are enveloped in the festive ambience, surrounded by the echoes of celebration and the dazzling light show above. In this intimate moment, Shirakawa cozies up even closer to Ryudo, seeking comfort and warmth in his presence. She leans gently against him, her eyes reflecting the myriad of colors from the fireworks. With a tender tone, she asks if they can remain in this embrace until the last of the fireworks fade into the night. This simple request underscores the depth of their connection and the comfort they find in each other's company. Shirakawa, moved by the beauty of the moment and the closeness they share, opens up about the insights she's gained from their relationship. She confesses that it's in these shared experiences, these quiet, beautiful moments, that she feels their hearts drawing nearer to each other. Her confession of love to Ryudo is heartfelt and sincere, a true expression of the deep bond they share. She even playfully admits that the intensity of her feelings for him continues to grow, a sentiment that brings a shy blush to Ryudo's cheeks. As they gaze into each other's eyes, there's a mutual understanding and reaffirmation of the feelings they share. The couple, lost in the moment, shares another tender kiss, a seal of their love and commitment to each other. This romantic interlude, set against the backdrop of the magnificent fireworks display, is a fitting farewell to a moment that will undoubtedly be etched in their memories. At school, Shirakawa meets with her classmates and chats about the current seating arrangement, catching a glimpse of her sister in the process. Ryudo enters the classroom and notices Kiro's avoiding Shirakawa's sister, recalling how Shirakawa resolved to mend her relationship with her sister. On the school roof, Ryudo sits with his friends, who express their jealousy about him having a girlfriend. Ryudo then asks them if they are free on the weekend, as he has planned to go play airsoft with them, Shirakawa, and her friends, which surprises the boys. At the airsoft game, the atmosphere is charged with excitement. The boys, already geared up for the game, are unexpectedly taken aback by the girls' cute outfits. Their reaction is immediate and enthusiastic. They start taking numerous photos, each trying to capture the charming and playful attire of the girls. The energy is contagious, with laughter and comments bouncing around. Ryudo, however, finds himself a bit concerned amidst the fun. He notices his girlfriend's outfit reveals quite a bit of skin. Worried about her safety in the game, he gently criticizes her choice of clothing. This concern sparks a series of interactions between Shirakawa's group of girls and Ryudo's circle of friends. The boys, somewhat shy and not quite accustomed to engaging with women, find themselves in a whirl of conversation and playful banter. They are overwhelmed yet visibly thrilled, the prospect of playing airsoft with the girls adding an extra layer of excitement to the event. Amidst the chatter and preparations, Shirakawa turns to her boyfriend with a sweet expression. She playfully tells Ryudo that she intends to pierce his heart with her love during the game. The comment sends a wave of bashfulness over him, his cheeks turning a light shade of pink. In his mind, he's already deeply touched by her affection, feeling as if his heart has been lovingly conquered. As they all get ready to start the game, there are a few awkward and humorous moments courtesy of Ryudo's friends, their nervousness and inexperience in such mixed company evident. Yet, the air is filled with a sense of camaraderie and anticipation. Finally, with spirits high and laughter echoing, the group sets off to commence their airsoft battle, each person eagerly looking forward to the fun and challenges ahead. The game of airsoft begins with an exhilarating energy. Friends dart around the field, the sounds of playful shouts and the popping of airsoft guns filling the air. Ryudo and his friends, immersed in the thrill of the game, start targeting each other. There's a light-hearted rivalry among them, with Ryudo's friends playfully focusing on him, determined to take down the average guy of their group. They dodge and weave, laughter mixing with competitive banter. As the game heats up, Ryudo's friends become increasingly carefree in their pursuit, leading to one of them getting unexpectedly hit by a combination shot from Ryudo and Shirakawa's girlfriend. The surprise hit prompts cheers and laughs from their teammates. Shirakawa, meanwhile, keeps a watchful eye on her friend, displaying a mix of concern and competitiveness. In a moment of daring, she risks getting shot to aid her teammate, but Ryudo, ever attentive, manages to strike his other friend, cleverly knocking him out of the game. The dynamics shift again when Ryudo, caught off guard in a rare lapse of attention, is struck by Nikoru's skillful shot. Ryudo, now out of the game, joins the onlookers, observing the escalating showdown. Shirakawa's other friend also gets hit, leaving Shirakawa and Nikoru as the final contenders. The field becomes a stage for their intense duel, with Shirakawa fiercely determined to claim victory for herself and her boyfriend. The duel between them is intense, a flurry of movement and strategy, until finally, Shirakawa lands the decisive shot on Nikoru, triumphantly securing her win. After the game, amidst the laughter and tired breaths, Shirakawa takes a moment to express her gratitude to Ryudo for his protective actions during the game. The atmosphere is light and joyful as they prepare for another round. Nikoru, keen to improve her performance, decides to cut her nails, which had been a minor hindrance during her shooting. This small adjustment makes a significant difference. In the next game, she emerges as a dominant force, skillfully and effortlessly tagging each opponent. As the day winds down and the group prepares to leave, a moment of concern arises when Shirakawa realizes her earring is missing. This sparks a collective search effort, highlighting the earring's sentimental value to her. Ryudo, observing the frantic search, understands its importance. Shirakawa, usually indifferent to accessories, cherishes this particular earring, having worn it on every date they've had. After a tense search, relief washes over the group as Shirakawa finds her earring safely tucked away in her bag. In the cozy ambience of the restaurant, the boys begin their meal with a lively discussion about the day's airsoft game, particularly highlighting Nikoru's exceptional performance. Her agility and skill had left a lasting impression, and the boys couldn't help but express their admiration and a bit of surprise at her prowess in the game. As the conversation flows, it takes an interesting turn. One of Ryudo's friends, known for his knack for obscure topics, begins to talk about something that seems to fly over the heads of Shirakawa and Nikoru. However, their third friend's eyes light up with recognition and interest. She reveals her own deep involvement in otaku culture, sharing insights and experiences references that draw the girls into an animated discussion. This sudden dive into a specialized topic leaves Ryudo and the rest of the boys somewhat bewildered, watching the exchange with a mix of confusion and amusement. Shirakawa, meanwhile, starts feeling a twinge of jealousy amidst the lively banter. She notices everyone around her has a burning passion for something, but she struggles to pinpoint her own. Sensing her friend's disquiet, Nikoru reassures Shirakawa, reminding her of her intense enthusiasm for her relationship with Ryudo. This leads to Nikoru opening up about her own emotional struggles, specifically her lingering feelings for her ex-boyfriend. She candidly shares her challenges of being single and reminisces about her past relationship, praising her ex for his cool demeanor. However, her mood quickly sours when one of Ryudo's friends makes an offhand comment, striking a sensitive chord as she reflects on the short but significant 2-week relationship with her first love. The conversation takes another unexpected turn when Nishi, one of Ryudo's friends, curiously inquires about Nikoru's personal life, leading to a playful yet sharp interaction. Nikoru, not one to shy away from defending her privacy, responds with a swift kick and a threatening glare, which Nishi, in his unique way, interprets as a peculiar form of flattery. Amidst this lively exchange, Shirakawa's other friend expresses her longing for a romantic relationship, specifically mentioning her preference for a tall boyfriend. This catches the attention of Lee Jun, another friend of Ryudo's. He eagerly inquires about her specific criteria, and upon revealing his own height, he's delighted to discover that he fits her description. This realization brings a mix of joy and bashfulness to his face, adding yet another layer of excitement and personal connection to the group's dynamic. As the bustling city continues its lively rhythm, the group decides to part ways, leaving Shirakawa and Ryudo in each other's company. With the evening still young and the city lights beginning to twinkle, the pair find themselves with unexpected free time. Seizing the moment, they decide to indulge in a spontaneous date. Shirakawa, with a hint of excitement in her voice, suggests they visit the Ferris wheel, a classic yet romantic choice that lights up Ryudo's eyes. Upon reaching the Ferris wheel, they enter a cabin, just the two of them, soaring above the city. The intimacy of the moment makes Ryudo a bit self-conscious, his heart fluttering with a mix of excitement and nervousness. He's acutely aware of Shirakawa's presence beside him, feeling a strong desire to kiss her. Shirakawa, sensing the romantic atmosphere, reminisces about a manga she recently enjoyed. In the story, characters shared a chocolate and a kiss in a Ferris wheel cabin, mirroring their own situation. They laugh at the coincidence, but with no chocolate at hand, Shirakawa playfully suggests they should share a kiss instead. Ryudo, captivated by the moment, eagerly agrees, and they share a tender, affectionate kiss. To Ryudo's surprise and delight, the kiss carries a sweet peach flavor, a testament to Shirakawa's thoughtfully chosen lipstick. As the Ferris wheel continues its gentle rotation, the couple enjoys a serene moment of cuddling and affectionate head stroking, basking in the warmth of each other's company. Shirakawa, with heartfelt sincerity, reaffirms her deep love for Ryudo. The ride back home is filled with a comfortable silence, occasionally broken by small talk and shared smiles. Shirakawa, seemingly pensive, appears a bit downcast. Ryudo, concerned, soon realizes that her melancholy is actually a reflection of overwhelming happiness. She's reflecting on the length and depth of their relationship, their myriad of shared experiences, and the anticipation of their upcoming 3-month anniversary. Ryudo, caught up in the emotion of the moment, suggests they should celebrate this milestone. But Shirakawa, brimming with contentment, gently declines. She expresses that being with him, experiencing the day-to-day journey of their relationship, is a celebration in itself. They mutually decide to forego the traditional marking of monthly anniversaries, cherishing every day they spend together as precious and unique. As they walk hand in hand, Ryudo feels a renewed sense of purpose and determination. He silently vows to be the man Shirakawa deserves in the future, motivated to work harder and learn more. He sets personal goals, aiming to grow not just for himself but for the beautiful bond they share, embracing the challenges and joys of their journey together. In the tutoring class, Ryudo is startled when Kuros enters the room, causing him to hide under the table to avoid being seen. As he crawls under the table to leave the classroom unnoticed, he's intercepted by someone. This person pretends to know Ryudo and later in a restaurant explains that he did so to cover for him, as Ryudo was attracting a lot of attention. Curious about the girl Ryudo was avoiding, he persuades Ryudo to tell him the truth about his situation with Kuros. In a long conversation, Ryudo explains the complex situation. The helpful stranger asks if Ryudo plans to continue avoiding Kuros until graduation. to which Ryudo replies negatively, admitting it's not feasible. His main concern is not to cause distress to his girlfriend, hence his intention to avoid contact with Kuros. The stranger understands and offers to help Ryudo, as he will also be around the school daily. He advises Ryudo to focus more on his studies, noting that distractions like this can be detrimental. At school, members are being chosen for the organizing committee. Initially, there are no volunteers until Kuros steps forward and signs up. Seeing this as a good opportunity, Shirakawa also decides to join the committee, shocking both Ryudo and Kuros. And that's it for another episode of our dating story. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and comment on what you like about the anime so far. Also, subscribe to my channel Anikazu to not miss more anime recaps of this and other animes. With that said, see you next time. Goodbye.